you all to exemplify the spirit of Splatoon. But you might, because you might be asking, what is Splatoon? Well, it is a game. It is a game. It's a Nintendo game. It's fairly popular and it has 2 going on 3 entries. And yeah, that can give you an example of what it's like to play the game. But that is not what I am here to discuss. I am here to discuss the lore behind the game. See,
is that Squid Game in the top left?
You might think Splatoon. Yes, it is. You might think Splatoon is just about squid people playing paintball. You are wrong. It is. Yes, it is about global warming, nuclear war, the Statue of Liberty, and squid people playing paintball. I am Fia, the oddly complex lore of Splatoon. You see, it all starts one day. There are these things called the ice caps. You might have heard of them. I don't know. This guy's heard of them, and he was like, hey, you know what would be a good idea? What if we nuked them? It was not a good idea. See, the world flooded over, and everyone died.
Yay.
One of the last humans alive was this professor. We don't know what his name is. He's just kind of the professor. He loved his cat, so he injected said cat with immortality juice. The cat is also telepathic. This isn't important, I just wanted to bring that up. There's also this telephone with has a sentient AI inside of it and was made to pass humanity's knowledge to the next known species. Making sentient AI never goes wrong, ever. But enough about that, let's talk about squid. As you can see in this horrific diagram, squid evolved into kids that could turn into squids. That's not really how nature works, but Splatoon. There were also these dudes. They're called the Octarians. At first, they were friends. Then they were not. There was a war, and the Inklings won and drove the Octarians underground. They recovered from this war surprisingly quickly, and they ended up relying on a giant flying electric catfish to power pretty much everything in their cities. They kind of evolved their technology and species evolved surprisingly quickly, with things like idol culture and fashion being a very big part of their whole thing. And then the fish went missing, which is bad, because there isn't really any, backup power source. So you're a child, and you see an old man that I forgot to put in here, in a manhole cover. So you do the logical thing and follow him. And he's all like, hi, child that followed me into a manhole cover. The giant zapfish was stolen by the Octarians. You're like 15, go to war. And so they do. And after a bunch of killing enough Octarians that I think it would constitute as genocide, but I'm not sure, they find this guy, and they defeat him, and they get the electric catfish, and everything is cool and great and stuff. There's the electric catfish. Yeah, and they sing a song, those two. Woo. But you see, all was not well because the Octarians are still at large or something. But this is where things get interesting. Finally, I know. You see, those two have been going around killing Octarians, as you do, and they come across this one. And they try to fight them. But you see, these two made a song that was so good that it changed the hearts of everybody who heard it. I practiced saying this part so many times, and I still can't say it without laughing. And then the telephone appears and kidnaps them. Why did that happen? Nobody knows. So the telephone's like, hey, I'm not evil. Go do some tests. Find pieces of something that is not a wonder. That sea cucumber I only mentioned him because he kills children, and I find that funny. So you go, you get the help of the lesbians, which they are. They don't say it, but they are. And you kill a bunch of Octarians, but it's not as morally dubious because they're already dead. Woo. You collect the pieces of the blender. Telephone's like, good job. Now I will take you to the promised land, which is what we were trying to accomplish. So you get into the blender because you're stupid, and the telephone turns out to be evil. But then Agent 3, who has not been here the entire time, and has never been seen or mentioned, just kind of comes through the ceiling and destroys the blender and the telephone, and you go up to the sky. And then Agent 3 is evil. So you kill them. You don't actually kill them, but I can't think of what to say. And you escape from the testing facility with Agent 3, who is not dead. And then the reused joke appears. So he's evil, has the statue. His whole thing is that he wants to grind up the most perfect specimens from what he believes is a failed species to turn them all into zombies so he can rule over them because he doesn't like consumerism or something. It's never really properly explained. It's kind of odd. Yeah. So you just kind of that, and then you kill it. So, you know, the Zapfish, that thing, now it's not a thing. I kind of got burnt out of doing animations at this point. I'm so sorry, this is trash. But yeah, this time you find her in a manhole cover. And since you are a responsible, smart 15-year-old, you follow the strange woman into a helicopter. It's a helicopter. Yeah, it's a helicopter. Sure, why not? This time, Callie and the Zapfish were kidnapped by the same dude because, sure. So it's like, hey, you're like 15, right? Go to war. And so you do. And it's literally just the exact same thing. It is the exact same thing that happens again. And that, yeah, you rescue them and there is confetti. And I accidentally acted out of the thing. Because of course I do. That's like my job.
I got you.
Messing everything up is what I do. So you know, Splatfests, they're a thing I meant to mention. This is why I need the script to follow. They're basically festivals where Inklings kind of just go to war temporarily to decide major political decisions, like survival of the fittest, almost. So this one was deciding the fate of the universe, because that's something that you should leave up to 15-year-olds. And chaos wins by a landslide. And then this happens. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Of course, it's it. Splatoon 3 has been released. Agent 3 is like the general of the military, like 18 or something, because that's how things work. And the character you play as in Splatoon 3 is newer Agent 3. There's a difference. You see? Now this is me not being able to explain things well. And you're watching Disney Channel.
The guy in the bottom middle is cute.
The end.
I have no words.